Japanese citizens it's kidnapped in the 1970s and 1980s. Now, in 2002, Pyongyang admitted to seizing the group. It wanted to use them to train spies. Since then, 5 abductees and their families have been returned to Japan, but many more are still missing. Japan refuses to accept North Korea's previous insistence that they all died. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe says the investigation could help improve relations between the two countries.
We will look into cancelling the special sanctions against North Korea and the sanctions against humanitarian vessels from North Korea entering into Japan. As we both look to work with relevant agencies, we'll also watch what actions North Korea takes.
Harry Fawcett is live for us in Seoul. So, Harry, this is an interesting turn of events. How has this come about when relations between the two countries has been so strained?
Well, it is an interesting time for this to happen. It's a time when many observers see North Korea as preparing to make good on their threat for a 4th nuclear test. It comes quite soon after there was an exchange of fire between North Korean and South Korean forces across the western maritime border. But I think you have to accept as well that Shinzo Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan, has made this a really important foreign policy goal of his, namely the resolution of this abductees issue. As you're saying, North Korea admitted to taking 13 people hostage in the 1970s and 1980s. Japan says that it was at least 17, if not many more. And so with 5 returned in 2002, North Korea says that the remaining 8 that it admits to have died in the interim. But Japan has not accepted that. It wants, at the very least, a full accounting, if not having these nationals returned. And so the nexus of this deal is that North Korea will agree to launch a special investigation committee, and that probe will try and find any survivors, it says, Japanese nationals inside North Korea, and then start working towards returning them to Japan. In return for that, Japan will allow several restrictions to be lifted on travel, on remitting money from the ethnic Koreans who live in Japan to their relatives in North Korea, also allowing North Korean flagged boats into Japanese waters for the first time since 2006. So that's what's on the table at the moment. Japan also saying that potentially humanitarian assistance could be provided further down the line as well.
Well, Harry, this also comes at a time of friction between South Korea and North Korea. So how's this deal going to go down over where you are in Seoul?
It's not been reacted to officially yet here by the government in Seoul, but I think it's unlikely to be very popular. Certainly the United States and South Korea have been maintaining a very hard line against Pyongyang, saying that without some kind of concrete measures on denuclearization, that there can't be any real engagement. And so the fact that there is now some engagement between Japan and North Korea will potentially be looked on as a negative step in Washington and Seoul. However, both countries will also have been aware that this has been going on pretty much since Shinzo Abe took office and has been accelerating in the last few months. So it won't come as a surprise. And President Obama was in the region. He visited both Tokyo and Seoul just a few weeks ago. And so, as I say, this will have been on the table. What will be difficult, though, is if North Korea starts to ramp up its behavior again, especially if there were to be a 4th nuclear test, as some observers who look at satellite imagery say it appears that there have been preparations for that. If that were to happen, then I think this deal would be extremely difficult for Japan to pursue.
Harry Fawcett, live for us in Seoul. Thank you.